Surf's up, boys, and no waves, no glory. Rider Mordred is going to be the next servant in our summer lineup. Hitting the beach as a 4-star rider, Mordred comes with 9,212 attack, as well as 11,400 hit points. HP-wise, Mord is up near the top with only 2 riders above her, and isn't a slouch in the attack category either, coming in 4th out of the 4-star rider category. Mordred is going to be one of the 2 4-star riders with an arts-based Noble Phantasm, with the second one not coming out for a very, very long while. A 2 quick, 2 arts, 1 buster deck isn't that rare in the rider category, but coupled with the arts NP, this does make her one of the 3 4-star riders that are able to pull off a arts chain with their Noble Phantasm. 3 hits on the quick, 2 hits on the art, 1 on the buster, and 4 hits on her extra attack. An NP gain of 0.71% on attack and 3 on defense. 204 in star weight and 9.2 in star rate. The 9.2 star rate, when coupled with the 3 hits on her quick, will allow her to generate a modest amount of stars and is at the absolute top of the rider category. The star weight of 204 is actually around the middle, as most have either 205 or 208. For riders with 2 hits on their arts card, her NP gain is not very good at 0.71% and is actually pretty low, coming in only above Iskandar pre-rank up quest. But it's not as bad as it seems because, well, Mordred has ways to compensate, and not just a big board. When it comes to Brave Chains for NP gain, you are going to be running the Arts Quick Arts Chain, which will provide you with 27.25 NP gain. For stars, you are looking at 2 different options here, NP gain as well as damage. The Arts Quick will provide you with around 14 stars and a 23.28% NP gain. The Buster Quick will provide you with 14 stars as well. This also deals a little under double the damage potential than the Arts Chain, but it only hits you with 10.29% NP gain. So both of these are up to you and what you need at the time and what you have available. For pure damage, it is going to be the Buster Arts, which will provide you with 18.48% NP gain as well. So let's surf into some skills. Cerulean Ride A. This skill is going to increase Mordred's art effectiveness for 3 turns on a 7-turn cooldown, making this a 5-turn cooldown at rank 10. From 20% at rank 1 to 30% at rank 10, this is going to go a long way in helping to up that NP gain from those arts cards, as well as do more damage with her Noble Phantasm. This is a very basic steroid, but when coupled with some attack up or NP damage, this is going to bring some extra needed damage to that Noble Phantasm and those arts cards. Rodeo Flip A+. This applies an evade for 1 turn and increases critical star drop rate. This is on a 9-turn cooldown, which is a pretty heavy timer, even at rank 10, which makes it 7 turns. The crit star generation runs from 30 to 50%. I would suggest using this skill as a basic 1-turn evade. Endless Summer B, her 3rd skill. This applies a 1-time guts on a 3-turn timer, as well as increases her Noble Phantasm gauge. This also has a 9-turn cooldown, so 7 turns at rank 10. This will bring her back with 1k hit points on the guts revival, but the main point to this skill is going to be that NP gain. Going from 20% to 30% at rank 10, when maxed out, she will be able to drop an NP, coming in with just a 50% starting NP CE, as well as Waver's 2nd and 3rd skill. This will make her able to knock out that Noble Phantasm turn 1. If you're using things like Kaleidoscope, you can drop an NP turn 1 with just rank 1 of this skill. Her passives, she does come with Magic Resistance B, which seems to be a common thing, which seems to be a common theme with these summer servants, and it does increase her buff resist by 17.5%. She also has Surfing A, which is a really neat skill that combines present concealment as well as territory creation into one skill that raises star generation and arts performance by 5%. Her Noble Phantasm Pridwin tube riding, and I don't mean that airship from Fallout, is an AoE Arts Noble Phantasm that does heavy damage and also has a chance on overcharge to decrease the enemy's NP charge. 450% damage at NP1 all the way up to 750% at NP5. The charge decrease does go from 50% to 90% at overcharge 1 versus overcharge 5, so this is typically going to be used as a wave clearer. Pun completely intended there. However, if you are using it to clear out the weaker enemies on a boss wave, it would be beneficial to hold it to the second turn for the chance to decrease their Noble Phantasm charge. With the Noble Phantasm being Arts, you are able to pull off that Arts Brave Chain like I mentioned earlier. So what are we looking at Ascension wise? Well, you are going to need 6 seashells, which shouldn't be too bad. 30 Dragon Fangs, which again, pretty easy. 4 Dragon Scales, not bad at all. 16 Medals of the Great Knight, kill me. Yep, that's right, 16 Medals of the Great Knight. So I hope that you spent some time during that half AP free quest to get yourself some medals. And if you thought those 16 medals for Ascension were bad, well, get ready for skills. 24 medals per skill, friends. That is horrible. 12 seashells, not bad. 20 homunculus babies, not the worst. And 12 tear stones of blood. Those are just some absolute gross mats needed for these skills, and you are going to want to level them to get the timers down to a reasonable level. Alternatively, if you are just going to be using Mordred for wave clearing hands and farming, you can completely ignore her second skill. Focus on her first skill for sure and level the third skill if you need the increased NP gain. For CEs, Formal Craft is great if you are looking to capitalize on the already buffed Arts effectiveness and take those 2 Arts cards and NP to the next level. Personally, I like the idea of running another ending on her for the increase in Arts as well as the crit damage. Since she is a rider, you can team her up with crit generators to feed her stars and really hammer home the NP gain with Arts cards crits. For starting NP, you have the typical Golden Sumo, Halloween Princess, boring, I know, and I suggest it all the time, so we're going to completely skip those. You also have Holy Knight's Dinner that will be coming with the Christmas event this year, and honestly, I really like this one. Increased crit, NP damage, and a starting 50% NP gauge. If you're looking just to fire off that first turn NP, obviously Kaleidoscope and Imaginary Element are both solid picks. For teammates, you can go a few routes, but you are going to want to put her in an Arts team. Running her with Nero Bride and Hans is a very solid pick. Targetable increased NP gain, plus attack, plus heals is always a solid option, as well as Hans to produce stars and increase Rider Mordred's critical damage. You can also swap out Nero Bride for a waiver, but that's pretty expected at this point. If you want to go all out on the Arts buffs, running her with a Tamamo and a Mozart for Arts effectiveness will allow you to really push that Noble Phantasm gain through the roof and will allow you to spam Rider Mordred's Noble Phantasm turn after turn after turn. Helena also makes a good teammate by increasing Arts effectiveness, creating stars, and filling NP gauges. Once Caster Guild drops, he will also be a fantastic teammate with 3 Arts cards, an Arts NP, Charisma A+, and a team-wide Arts buff as well. So even if you are not planning on running her as a wave clearer, you do have a bunch of viable options. However, if you just want to run over some caster hands, she is fantastic at that as well. Overall, Rider Mordred is a super fun Noble Phantasm spamming Arts crit rider with super cool animations. She has a very solid survival kit, and while her base NP gain on attack is not great, it is made up for with her passive as well as her Arts buffs. She can clear waves with ease, and that joke will never get old. Her NP does come with a charge removal chance, so if you used it on a boss situation, this will help to stall out the boss a little bit, and as she is a rider class, she will typically pull all of the stars in a crit arts team situation. The downside is that she does have a hard time generating stars on her own, and she does require a team comp to play around her unless you're just doing farming. Overall, I'm very excited to pick up Mord and give her some time to shine as she plows through wave after wave of enemy. I would like to take this time to thank all of the Patreons that help make this channel possible. You guys are the real MVPs. If you'd like to join them, there's a link down below, but you can also help out the channel by hitting that subscribe button, smashing that bell notification, dropping me a like and a comment, and I will catch you on the next one. Take it easy, guys. Peace.
Just run away with my darling. We'll get real.